Alright guys, good morning. I am going to make another video today, and this is going to be about the Legend of Zelda, actually not the Legend of Zelda, but it's going to be about Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. This is a game that I picked up. I believe I picked this game up a few days ago and started playing it. I said, you know what, let me play something new before Kirby Air Riders comes out, and I said, let me just get the new Age of Imprisonment video game. That one, it does look really good. It doesn't look too bad. Not too many people have talked about it. Not too many people have raved about it. But I still wanted to check it out anyways. It is a game that kind of slipped my mind just because of all of the awesome content we've been seeing for Kirby Air Riders. And, you know, because of that, I didn't really pick it up day one. But, you know, leading up to Kirby Air Riders, and after the global test ride for Kirby Air Riders was over, I was like, crap, now I gotta wait a few days for Kirby Air Riders to officially come out. Let me just go ahead and get this Age of Imprisonment game and see what this game is like. It is a fun game. It's a fun game, and I don't know where I would rank it among the Hyrule Warriors games. I still love the very first Hyrule Warrior games. That one was just so freaking awesome. It had so many of the villains from, you know, past Zelda games. Ganondorf's, you know, his look in that game is the best. It's one of the coolest looking designs for Ganondorf ever. I mean, the way they made his hair and everything and how big and bulky he is. They did Ganondorf really awesome in that game. If you guys hadn't played that game, definitely get it for your Switch 2. I don't think they have a Switch 2 edition, but it still looks better on the Switch 2 than it does on the regular Switch anyways. So definitely check that game out. Hopefully they do make a Switch 2 edition of that game if they hadn't already. But regardless, this Age of Imprisonment, this is the third Hyrule Warriors game, and it is actually really fun. It's a really solid video game so far, and I am really loving it. I'm really loving it. One thing that I really like is this character called the Mysterious Construct. Some of you may have seen him in the trailers, and just by looking at him, it's pretty obvious that it's kind of like Link. You know, it has to be Link in some way or form because he looks just like Link. The way he carries a sword and shield, exactly identical to Link. The way he moves, the way he carries himself. The fact that he doesn't really talk at all, you know, his overall demeanor, he sees danger, he sees like a bunch of, you know, evil people, you know, fighting against good people, and then he just immediately runs to it, you know, he runs to the danger, and he just slaughters all of the bad guys. You know, he's just a cool, badass character, and he's definitely like the spirit of Link in this construct or whatever. That's basically what he is. And now, the game has not told us anything yet. It has not, you know, explained who he is. All I know is that he's the Mysterious Construct, and he's definitely a good guy. We don't know anything about him. We don't know how he came to be or whatever. It kind of shows the Korok or whatever who's playable in this game. You know, he somehow brought this dude back to life, and he was confused, like, well, what's going on here? And then they just started traveling around with each other. This Mysterious Construct dude is so freaking awesome to play as because he also transforms. He's like a transformer in a way. You know, he also transforms into like a freaking fighter jet to where he's flying around, and he'll launch a bunch of missiles, bombs, and he'll shoot a bunch of bullets. It's like this is so freaking awesome. Like, this is like Star Fox or something, you know? It's like you're playing Star Fox, but it's The Legend of Zelda. It's so freaking cool. I really like that about the game too, is like you have these missions where you're just flying as this construct, as the Mysterious Construct, and it feels like you're playing, you know, an old-fashioned arcade Star Fox game. Definitely a game you guys got to check out. Really love it so far. You know, the story is really cool too. It explains why it's called Age of Imprisonment, or yeah, it explains why it's called the Imprisoning Wars. So that's something that was talked about a lot in Tears of the Kingdom, the Imprisoning Wars, and essentially this might be a spoiler to you guys, so, you know, let me give you 3 seconds to pause or skip this really quick, skip it by like a minute. But the reason it's called the Imprisoning Wars is because once Ganondorf becomes like the Demon King, he unleashes demons all over the damn land, and they're just all over the place attacking everybody, and it's like you're trapped. You're like imprisoned in your land, you know? You've been completely invaded by Ganondorf and his army. So it's like they're being imprisoned in a way in their own land. That's pretty much what it is. So that's why they call it the Imprisoning Wars, Age of Imprisonment. So at first, you know, you're just battling, you're fighting against, you know, you're fighting against some Gerudo people because Ganondorf sent these Gerudo women to go, you know, take out Rauru, and that ends up failing, but it doesn't matter because Ganondorf ends up getting what he wants, and then he ends up transforming into the Demon King. And then once that happens, that literally happens, I think, maybe an hour into the game. So once that happens, that's when the entire map is just flooded with all of these, you know, demons and these monsters that are working for Ganondorf. So it's really cool. It's a really cool concept. I love how it works. You know, you got this big map, you got the entire map of Hyrule, and not only is it Hyrule, it's also the depths, which is underground, and you also have, you know, the sky, all of the different sky islands, just like in Tears of the Kingdom. And you know, you have sections up there with, you know, camps and military bases that are being attacked that you have to go save. It's really fun. It's really fun how you can choose which areas to go to fight in or whatever, and depending on which area you choose to go to, which area you choose to campaign in, it'll give you the characters for that specific area. So there'll be an area where you play as the mysterious construct, as well as that Korok that is fighting along his side. There'll be areas where you're playing as Zelda and Rauru. There'll be another area where you're playing as one of these like these birds, you know, those birds from Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, those bird people or whatever. There'll be like an area where you're playing as them and you're fighting. It's really cool like that. I do personally wish that I can just choose to play as a mysterious construct all the time, because he is definitely my favorite character. Not just because he's basically Link. He's basically a constructed version of Link, but he's just so freaking fun to play as. He's so badass and whatever. This game is ridiculously hard if you play it on hard mode. I'm just gonna tell you guys that, because it's like you barely get any, you know, food ration, which is what heals you, right? You barely get any, and like a lot of these damn dudes, I mean, these bosses that you're facing, they'll hit you pretty fast. I mean, they're pretty hard to, you know, dodge. Sometimes they'll swing multiple times, and it's like even if you dodge the first swing, then the second one will get you. And so it's better to probably play this game on either normal or easy, unless you really want a challenge. The only thing is it's going to be real annoying if you're trying to progress through it and you're trying to get to the story and see what happens next, and you're just over here getting killed way too many times because your health is low and you don't even have any damn rations. So that's the one thing I would say is kind of a complaint, is the lack of rations to boost up your health whenever your health gets low. So it kind of is, you know, unfortunately you would have to play this game more on like normal or easy difficulty if you really want to have a good time. You can still try for hard mode, but boy, you're gonna have to really be on your P's and Q's for that. So it definitely offers some pretty good some good difficulty. But like I said, this is a game that Hyrule Warriors games, I mean, typically you are supposed to feel like a total badass, and the way these games normally work is that there's like thousands of like enemies right there on the field, on the battlefield, and you're just slashing through hordes of them easily. And then there's like the big boss that is like much harder to slash through, and it takes more effort. You can switch between different characters. You'll have like 4 or 5. You usually have 3 to 4 characters, right, that you can switch from. You can send them to different areas of whichever battlefield you're playing on. You could send them to a different location to help fight, you know, to help out with another army or another camp that's being invaded. Stuff like that, you know. These are things that are in the other Hyrule Warriors games. I do think that like the Star Fox mode where you're playing as the mysterious construct and you're flying and you're shooting bombs, missiles, and all that cool stuff. I do think that's like the newest, that's like new to the series. I think that's like a new thing for the Hyrule Warriors game. I don't think that was something you could do in the other two Hyrule Warriors games. So that's like a really cool addition to the game. The game looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. I love the cel-shaded art style. I'm so sick of the idiots out there that are like, I want Legend of Zelda to move on from this art style. It's like, you guys are fucking morons. The art style is awesome. It's unique. It's not like the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, where everything is very cel-shaded and cartoony. It's done in like the best way possible. I don't get people's like, you know, hang up with it. I don't know why people are like so against the art style. I think it's really stupid. Yeah, it's really freaking stupid. The art style is great. I love the cel-shaded art style. I hope they go forward with that style, even if they reboot the series and it's like a completely brand new Zelda game. But I'm hoping it's going to be a third and final game. Anyways, art style is great. The game looks beautiful. They did a really good job with the game's graphics and visuals. For some weird reason, though, the cutscenes do not look as good as the actual game itself. Like, the cutscenes just look it looks more blurry compared to the actual game. I don't get that. I don't know why. I don't understand it, but it's not super bad. It's just a little bit, it kind of just throws me off a little bit, and that's it. So yeah, this is definitely a game I highly recommend. It's another game that didn't get that many good reviews, of course. You know, this is just how it is. If it's a game that's like not a big, well-known game, you know, you're gonna have these ass clowns take advantage of that fact, and they're just gonna, you know, give the game a shit review, even if they don't really have good reasons. Me personally, so far, I give the game a solid 9 out of 10. The only criticisms I have against the game would just be the fact that, you know, I wish I could play as the mysterious construct anytime. I wish I could always choose him. I wish I could always choose which other characters to take along with me to whichever, you know, whichever battle we're going to, whichever camp we're going to. That's one thing I wish we had more control over. And I do think the hard difficulty is a bit ridiculous just because of the fact that you hardly ever get any rations. And it's like, what the hell? Like, they only gave me 3 rations, and two or three missions later, you still don't have any more rations. Like, where the hell do I get more rations? Like, I'm freaking dying out here way too easy. I probably have to just play the game more to figure that out. But it's a great game so far. It really is. I think it's a really fun game. It's a great addition to the Switch 2. So right now, that's like, man, that's what, 5 or 6 great games, great exclusives that the Switch 2 already has. And that's including the games that we're about to get, Kirby Air Riders and Metroid Prime 4. It's a solid game. It's awesome. I do highly recommend this game. You definitely need to pick up this game, especially if you are a fan of the Legend of Zelda games and you love the lore. Definitely check it out. So anyways, all of my subscribers or anybody watching this video for the first time, have you played this game? Where do you rank it? Is this a game you recommend? And what's your favorite thing? Who's your favorite character to play as in this game? Do you think that the reviews so far for this game have been way too low? Because I think this game is actually better than what has been suggested, you know, or what has been, you know, insinuated. So anyways, yeah, that's my review for Age of Imprisonment. Highly recommend it. Check it out when you can. And with that being said, I will talk to all of you guys later.